Ladies and gentlemen, citizens, this is the court of public opinion. We are in the judicial harlotry series of videos. Harlotry is a kind of blatant prostitution. I have nothing against prostitution because those who have to make a living by any means, it's an option. My only problem is when a public servant decides to operate harlotry in the public office such that the office is like a pool for the crocodile, where the crocodile can lie in the cool waters, knowing that the gazelle will sooner or later come to seek water. So as a public officer, knowing that the public is going to turn up in that public office, and then you have harlotry as your main business in the office, then that is the kind of harlotry that I am against. So take your harlotry outside there, get out of the public office. Ladies and gentlemen, citizens, harlotry in a public office involves the public officer hanging a board virtually in the office, outside the block, and the board says, for example, Samantha and sisters, harlots since, say, 2010, and there could even be a nice motto such as the things we do to men. There's nothing wrong with a person proclaiming their trade. The problem is when that trade squeezes out public service. Ladies and gentlemen, citizens, in judicial harlotry, we are going to discuss the hard work of these people. One, the Honorable Asenath Ogeri, then the chairperson of the Cooperative Tribunal, now a justice of the High Court. We are going to discuss the hard work of one, the Honorable Lady Justice Mary Kasango, a justice of the High Court, then stationed in Mombasa. We are going to mention in passing the hard work of one Honorable Justice Joki Mwangi, a justice of the High Court, then stationed in Mombasa. We are going to discuss, to devastating scrutiny, the hard work of the Honorable Lady Justice Dora Chepkwony, a justice of the High Court in Mombasa. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to discuss those public officers in the context of their service in the Cooperative Societies Tribunal, case number 08 of 2011 at Mombasa, and the consequent appeal in the High Court at Mombasa. I would suggest that everybody sits back and waits for the evidence. These are the charges. Please wait for the evidence. Don't panic. Don't go half-cocked. Wait for the evidence. For the public, you'll be shocked that your public servants can conduct harlotry in public office. So sit back, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn and be entertained. Ask yourself this question: are these offices worth it? Or Are they just a pool of cool water in which the crocodiles can wait for the innocent gazelle, which they know it will certainly turn up for water? Ladies and gentlemen, citizens, once upon a time, I applied for a loan with my cooperative, Mwalimu National Savings and Credit Cooperative Society Limited. Mwalimu National adjusted the rate of payment to more than twice the rate that we had contracted. Such an adjustment is very harmful. Remember, you apply for a loan to develop. You have children, you have family, you have loved ones that you take care of. And when you apply for a loan, you do it having in mind the extent to which you have to sacrifice the quality of life. You have a family to feed, you have a family to clothe, you have fees to pay. So when you decide to apply for a loan with a cooperative, you indicate the rate at which you are going to pay it. Adjusting that rate to more than twice that rate, it can mean children not going to school, for example, or not having lunch money, or missing meals. When I noted that increase in the rate, I went to Mwalimu National's headquarters those days on Tomboya Street, Mwalimu House on Tomboya Street. And Mwalimu agreed that they were the ones who had adjusted the rate because I filled a form. We agreed that they locate the form and let me see it. And I waited and I waited. It got late. We agreed that they keep looking for the form. If they got the form, they were to call the police because that is an exhibit in a crime. We agreed further that they get the form, they don't get the form, they must stop the deductions with effect from that month and effect refund of all the monies deducted in excess by the coming Friday. Mwalimu National did not stop the deductions and did not refund the monies so deducted. Ladies and gentlemen, to deduct money from a worker's salary without authority is a crime. It is theft. It is no less theft than picking the pocket of the worker. So Mwalimu failed to stop the deductions and failed to refund the money. Now, I could not just sit back to be raped at leisure by the persons at Mwalimu National. By the way, it's a very intricate system because Mwalimu National does not pay me. I am paid by the Teacher Service Commission of Kenya. And for the Teacher Service Commission of Kenya to effect deduction from my pay, they must see my authority in the form of a letter, a form filled and signed. So this is a deep conspiracy between persons at Mwalimu National and persons at the Teacher Service Commission. There's a lot of incest between these two institutions. So I could not just sit because if I allow that to happen, it will happen to me again. It will happen to the next person. So I did my homework and I decided to file a case with the Cooperative Tribunal. The Cooperative Tribunal used to be a very simple institution in which to prosecute disputes because does not have technicalities. So I won the case at the Cooperative Tribunal, and Mwalimu National was ordered to pay me the principal sum, the money they had deducted, the interest, and the costs. Now, Mwalimu National did not pay the principal sum, the costs as declared by the tribunal, or the interest. So I sent them auctioneers. Through the auctioneers, they paid the costs but did not pay the principal sum and the interest. I sent them a second auctioneer and they still did not pay. So on my part, I let that matter stand at that. I did not want to pursue the issue beyond that point. Next, I applied for a loan. Loans, they are a good avenue through which to develop. Mwalimu National declined to give me the loan. Remember, this is a fully guaranteed loan, guaranteed by 10 members, and the assurance of my pay. The reason Mwalimu National gave for denying me the loan was because I had been harassing them with auctioneers. Let me repeat that. The reason they denied me the loan, as the CEO put it, was because I had been harassing them with auctioneers, Soon after, the then Chief Executive Officer of Mwalimu National, Mr. Ojal, wrote me a letter alleging to suspend me from the cooperative. Then I found that I could not breathe. I needed to go back to the tribunal on a new case. But I could not go back to the tribunal without resolving the older case, which was still in a state of suspension. So I went back to the tribunal with two cases. One, to cite Mr. Ojal and Mwalimu National for contempt of court by failing to pay as per the decree from the original case. And a second case for their denying me a loan and allegedly suspending me from my cooperative. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next is a video that I'm calling a poop-marked court. A poop-marked court. Ladies and gentlemen, there are animals that mark their territory with different body products. One famous primate uses feces to mark its territory. In other words, it's like it's making the territory unpleasant to outsiders, such that the outsiders would rather not visit. Now, I titled that video as the poop-marked court because I find that the court is poop-marked. The court is poop-marked to the extent that it is supposed to provide a working station for the people employed there and for the people who are members of the club generally called lawyer advocates. For other people, they come second. They cannot benefit from that institution unless they work there or they are lawyer advocates. Now, one problem with evil that goes unchecked is that evil eats its own. Today, A and B have a conspiracy against C. When they are through with C, A may have a conspiracy against B. That is how evil operates. You may be a lawyer advocate and you are part of that system that operates outside the law in court. And it looks so good until one day you yourself now you become a victim and you have nowhere to run to because you held hands as you raped the public. Now it is your turn to be raped by the system in the marketplace at noon, and you can't do anything about it. That is why I feel that everybody should insist on the fidelity to law. Our security is best in the law, and it is best handled by people who can spell honor, and there are very few people in this pool who can spell the word honor.